Hello, everybody, and welcome to Break 'em Up. I'm your host, Roosevelt, and I'm here again with my favorite guests, Fred Owens, Eric Burke, and our special guest, Rodney Jones. We're here to discuss the up and coming fights. We're going to talk about a couple of the top five ranked boxers and who we believe is where they at. I'm gonna first start off with Eric Burke. Eric, talk to me about what you saw a couple of days ago with when it came to the monster, the big talk about the monster, the Japanese crazy monster.
Man, he looked good, man. He looked good. My thing is, I think he took it easy on that fight. That's my thing is. I think that man, like I said, he's like a Pacquiao, but better than Pacquiao. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about that dude. I mean, he's sweet. He's the main thing, man, for real.
Okay, okay. What about you, Fred? What you think about the monster, man?
Man, goodness gracious. Let me answer Eric a little bit. I think that he, after about round one or two, he saw Fulton's power wasn't going to affect him, and he pulled Fulton around. He pulled him along a little bit, give a little bit of a show before he stopped him. He could have stopped him
Yeah.
by the fourth, fifth round. Fulton had nothing for him.
Yes, he
If you don't
didn't.
have power for Inouye, if you can't get his attention, he gonna blow you out of there. So that
I
boy
think he
back.
let up. I think he let up. I think he let up a couple rounds. So you know what? I can take him out when I want to take him out.
Right,
That's
right.
how I
That's
look
what
at
I
it.
felt like.
I
It was a
thought,
two different classes of fighters to me.
yeah, I thought Fulton was kind of scared from the jump. He didn't want to show it, but his behavior in the ring was like, I'm trying to stay as far away from this dude as I possibly can. He was doing a lot of backpedaling. He was doing a lot of running, ducking, holding. That started in the first round. What you think about it,
Right.
Rodney? What you thought about the fight?
I thought he was able to implement his game plan and easily. I think Fulton felt that power and he was scared to kind of like take risks, and he wasn't able to implement his game plan. Like I think I like the guy. I like him. I like him. I seen him on the pound for pound list. I never really paid too much attention to him until the build up of the Fulton fight, because I know Fulton was a worthy opponent. And
Hmm.
after seeing what he did to him, I was, I was impressed. I was very impressed.
So, is this like your first time seeing the monster fight?
No, no, no. First time seeing him live fight for sure. Most
Oh,
definitely
okay,
first time seeing him fight live. Yeah,
okay.
live. But building up to the fight, I was wondering why they had Fulton as the underdog. So I'm like, man, let me. And I seen the monster on the pound for pound list for years now, for about like 2 years now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, let me check him out during the build up. And then I seen the way that he was able to like beat Fulton convincingly and then finish him in what, the eighth round. I'm like, oh yeah, man, he nice. But I want to see him kind of go up in weight and see if his power can translate up at 30, 35.
He have
So,
already, but he ain't going to 35 though. He gonna stay at 30. That's how
Say
high
why
he's
you
Yeah,
gonna
say
go
you
up
that?
know,
in age.
Why you say that?
I didn't know he was 30, and so if I
30 is
thought he was a little younger, I'd say maybe 35, but he's 30. So at 130, I think is his limit, but I don't think there's anybody at 125, 26, or 30 that could beat him. He's going to
But who?
unify. He'll unify within a year or so and be up to 26.
But then
yeah, but
again, the discussion. Go ahead, Eric.
I don't think he can make up to 35 though. I just
Mm-mm,
don't think that because his age. That's
no.
all. Go
Man,
ahead, Rock.
I feel like there's a whole bunch of tadpoles in that division. There ain't no sharks. There ain't no big fish in none of those divisions down there. So it's kind of like, eventually you want to see him against top names like Shakur or Haney or Lomachenko, at least Kambosos. kind of familiar names. See if he can beat those type of guys and go up in weight. It's easy to beat them little guys. Like it's easy.
Who you calling
He got
little?
big guy power.
Who
He
you
do
calling little?
no,
Is
no.
Fulton
I'm talking about
little?
the people that Fulton. Who Fulton beat?
Well, I guess he,
He beat
he
Brandon
had a title,
Figueroa. He
so
got Figueroa. That was a good fight.
yeah, yeah. So all I think is, like I mentioned earlier, man. I believe that at the beginning of the fight, Fulton knew what he was up against. He's not a stupid man. You know, he was doing his best to stay away. He couldn't connect. He couldn't he just couldn't do anything with the monster. The monster just pretty much conquered the whole fight. And I agree with all of y'all. I think he was slacking because monster he was playing. He was just having a good time in the ring. He was just having a good time. He was having fun in the ring. So Fred, I gotta ask you another question. We was talking earlier about the Tyson Fury fight that's coming up, and you don't really have too much to say about that. Now I totally get it, but who you think is going to win that fight?
Um, I don't like it at all. I don't understand why, when you're a champion like Fury, you got to defend that belt against a fighter. It's time for him and Usyk. To throw Ngannou in there, he'll beat Ngannou. He'll beat Ngannou easily. Um, Boxing and UFC, it is not the same thing. And I hate when they get in there and they say, well, yeah, this UFC guy can take this boxer. Never in a boxing discipline is a UFC guy legit going to be the legit boxer. And so it's a show to me. I think he's going to keep him around, pop him a few times. He might let him pop him a few times, but I, I'm going to have to participate. But, I'd rather see Usyk and him line it up.
What about you, Rodney?
I agree. I think he need to fight Usyk. That's the fight to make. That's been
That's
the
the
fight
fight.
to make. Right?
Yeah. Eric?
But I feel like Tyson trying to do a money grab right now. It's a money play.
What about you, Eve?
You're
What
right
you
about
think?
that.
I just don't like the fact that a UFC fighter trying to fight a boxer. You know what I mean? He has no time to. He got nothing. He don't know how to fight in the ring. Square circle, you want to call it. You know what I mean? He don't have to. I mean, the man, he can make him last. Maybe I say at least 7 to 10 rounds. That he can. Well, I say 7 rounds, and he can put him down anytime he wants to. Because the time limits and the boxing time limits is totally different. You got 3 minutes.
And
Well, we can say
cardio.
five. Yeah, the cardio is a lot different.
Yeah, I just
I just
think
don't.
going along with y'all saying. I just think that them combining boxing, UFC, it's starting to become a thing now. You know, and boxing is boxing. You know, what I mean, UFC is UFC. So these two competitors clinging and banging heads like that, I agree. It's just it's just a show. That's it. It's all about the
That's
money
it.
right now. So what do you think that's going to do for boxing, though? I mean, what you believe is that going to allow boxing and what boxing looks like today? Because at the end of the day, we're trying to draw more people into boxing to like boxing because there's a lot of people out there. You know, boxing's been here forever. We all know this, but there's still people out there that I've talked to recently that just now started tapping into boxing like last year. You know, so how do you think that's going to affect the boxing from now into the future? How do you think it's going to affect it?
I think it does boxing more good than it does UFC because none of the MMA guys are winning. None
It's
of them
true.
are winning. It's bringing more attention to boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Boxing's on
Well,
fire right now.
because the UFC fans is going to the boxing to see the UFC fighter find a boxer, and all of a sudden they go into the boxing scene because they UFC fighters are fighting boxer, and they see what we can do, and all of a sudden once they start liking it, they can keep watching it.
Hmm.
You gotta start somewhere. You gotta plant a seed somewhere. So yeah, I totally get that. Now, all right. Now we're gonna talk about the top five. Eric, tell me a little bit more about your idea when it comes to the top five. Is that correct, Fred? Top five?
Yeah, top five.
My top five, I'll go my man Terrance Crawford. He's number one. Why? Because he adapt, he switch, he does everything he's supposed to do in the boxing ring. And then I got my inner way. He's watch him. He's like a young Manny Pacquiao. He does great things. Then I got Spence on number three. Steven Shagor. I like him. You know what I mean? I got Dron Ennis. He haven't fought a real top fighter though, but I think he's my top five though right now.
What about your top five, Fred?
I like Eric's top five, but Crawford won't be one on my top five.
Okay.
So my five today, we got Monster Inouye at one, and I believe temporarily. Errol Spence at two, Crawford at three. Now, I have a little bit of reservation here because I'm going to put Devin Haney at four. And for my top five, I think I'm going to go with Bevo.
Okay. What about you,
Why
Rodney?
is that?
Yeah, why is that?
What? Why is that? Well, first, at Bevo at five, Canelo can't go there because he can't beat Bevo. They fought. When you got guys in the pound for pound that's fought, hey, the winner gets that clout until he beats him. And I just don't see Bevo, if they could ever turn it up again, Bevo will beat him the same way. Devin Haney at four, he went out and took that undisputed championship. Called Lomachenko out, which ain't a soft touch. But a lot of these guys are getting soft touches. Beat him, and now he's moving up to 140 to be great. He deserves to be in the top five. He's doing it the way boxers should do it. Terrance Crawford at three, I think he's talented. I think he's a good fighter. But like I said, I at 30-0, I'm gonna let him sit there for a second. But after this fight, he's going to like 13th in my book because he ain't fought nobody. And after you lose to
He's
Spence,
he's
after
he's
you lose
39
to
though.
Spence,
He's 39 though.
you know I had to throw that at you, Eric. That was directed at Eric. That you know what I'm saying though. But he falls out of that. Errol Spence right now, only because of in a way and his performance is Errol Spence not my one. But Errol Spence, if he beats Crawford, especially in spectacular fashion via TKO, he's the guy. He's the guy. And then we take and make him one and in a way two, and Crawford falls out. We move these guys up, and I put Shakur at five.
All right. What about you, Rod? Your top five.
So I'm going by like any other sport. It would be like basketball, NFL. I'm going by championships, rings, accomplishments. All right. So
All
I'm going
right.
with the young boy Devin Haney first.
I like that.
I'm going with Haney first, and then I gotta go with my boy Bud Crawford second. Bud Crawford second. Then I gotta go with the young Charlo third.
Oh,
Unified.
oh,
Then I'm going with Tyson Fury, and I'm going with the Russian Berta.
Oh, okay. Beater beef. I know you're talking
Yeah,
about.
bitter beef. Yeah, bitter beef. Yeah.
It's
That's
all
my
It
good.
took
It's
me
five.
a
all
couple
good.
years to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my five.
It's your five. So
Yeah.
I'm listening to you and I'm listening to all three of you, but nobody has really mentioned anything about Tank. You don't care about Tank too much?
So what has he accomplished?
What has he accomplished?
What has he
Eric, you're laughing.
accomplished?
Why you laughing, Eric?
I mean, he's a good fighter, but fighter, man. You going to the Mexicans, man. You going to, what I mean, fight a black and white fighter. He's scared of them. He will not fight them.
And who is them?
Sorry.
Who is them?
Okay. Devin Haney. He wouldn't fight on Lomo. Come on, man. He won. He not. He no. He fought all Mexican for the last how many? What? 15 fights.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I understand why that's the case too. because you know it has to do with
Punching
the promotion
bags.
and everything. What you think, Fred? What you think about Tank, man?
Well, Tank ain't there to be great, man, and that's the problem. We all fall in love with that knockout until they don't knock somebody out. He's gonna run into a guy that can box and can move out the way. The Mexican style fighters are tailor made for Tank. They come straight forward. You hit them, they hit you back. He ain't fought one defensively responsible fighter. 15 fights since he fought a black fighter. There is a rhythmic difference, and I just feel like you had to, he should be unified before undisputed before Devin got a chance to. He's been knocking cats out a lot longer, but he seeked that Floyd Money Mayweather path instead of the pretty boy Floyd Mayweather path. Take on all comers. He had no business fighting Rolly. Everybody knew Garcia wasn't ready, and that's his resume. Other than that, these guys don't have nothing to do but stand in front of him and get punched, and the outcome is going to be the same. I'd like to see him fight Frank Martin if he don't want to really challenge himself. Why don't he fight the Ghost?
Right, right. I agree with that. So you just answered the question I was going to ask, Fred. Who would you like to see him fight? So you would like to see him fight the Ghost, Fred
I
Martin?
think I think he get my respect if he challenge himself, and I think Frank Martin would be a challenge. Frank Martin is not a guy that I think can go out and knock out Tank, but I don't think Tank. He's not gonna throw the same punch twice. He's not gonna throw the same punch 3 times from the same angle.
Right.
Tank can read those guys. They're not of that level. A guy like Frank Martin would challenge him, and if it goes to the cards, Tank's in danger of losing. I'll just throw this in. Look at his last 5, 6, 7 fights.
Hmm.
He's been down on the cards quite a few times, deeper into the fight than people think. So if he don't knock some of these guys out, I mean, shoot, who did he fight at 140? What's that kid he fought? He was losing, and he don't
Yeah,
knock him down, he lose that fight on the cards.
if he
So
don't knock him out, yeah.
right,
That was it Garcia? He fought him in January. That was an all right fight until you know what I mean. Tank hit him with a good shot. He ran to a good
Garcia
shot.
made that mistake.
Yeah,
Garcia threw the
he did.
same punch
Just like
multiple times
Randy.
from the same angle,
Right. So
made it
who you
easy.
think? So Ronnie, who you think should they face put up against Tank?
Uh, there's only two fights to make for Tank at this point. It's either Shakur or Haney. I don't really want to see nothing else.
Okay.
I'm gonna see Lama
Who?
face him. I'm gonna see Lama face him.
Okay. All
But
right.
you
I
know,
think
I
he
like
going.
to see Score. I like to see Score and Hanley fights him, but I like him start from the bottom. Lama.
If we're talking about championships and not just showing something, it's got to be him and Shakur. Devin's 140. He's fighting Regis. It's
Right.
got to be him and Shakur. If Shakur, I thought should have fought somebody more worthy than the guy he fought before. The guy was terrible. But a tune-up fight for Shakur. Tank get good. He just got out of jail. Let himself do some work and let them turn it up. It should be them two next. That should be the only fight at 35.
That's it. That's it. There's really nothing else at 135.
Be nothing
Not
else.
really, no.
It's crazy. It's crazy that y'all looking at it like this, but you know, at the end of the day, it's all about the money. It's all about
Yep.
politics. It's all
Right.
about how they place. Because at the end, you know, you gotta think. You gotta be wise. Eric, you know this is to be true. You gotta be wise to build a boxer up. You know, and like for example, Tank. A lot of people that I've spoken to believe that you know he's one hell of a boxer. Then I also have people who say, well, he hasn't proven himself yet. When it comes to my opinion, I want to see him fight like Ghost. I would like to see him fight every individual that y'all brought up because what it's going to do is going to bring out the best in him. And that's what I believe. That's what I believe. We all got our opinions, right? That's what I believe because he's not really too good until he's in danger, until
Right.
he's in trouble.
Right.
That's when you're gonna
Hmm.
start seeing something come from Tank, and that's where you gotta worry about the punches. But when it comes to the Ghost, for example, he's quick, he's agile, he moves, he got good,
Right.
great punch output. So yeah, I mean, I like to see anybody collide with him. I would like to even see him fight Pitbull again. You know what I mean? Because
That's
it was
gonna be the
only
fight right there. Watch. That's gonna be the fight they're gonna try to make after this weekend.
yeah, I
Watch.
believe because like you said, they like put them against you know Mexican fighters, right?
Mhm.
All right,
Hmm.
so we're gonna go ahead and bring up the fight that's coming up in a couple of days.
Oh
Uh,
my
Fred,
goodness.
where are you watching the fight at?
Shoot. Your house?
Eric, where you watching the fight at?
I don't know. I mean, see, I don't know. Because reason why because I was supposed to go to a concert um Saturday night. Well, yeah, Saturday
Okay.
night. So the closest house I get to is where I'm going because I can't make all the way home.
Right.
And
Gotta
what time the
see it
concert?
somewhere.
Without saying what concert it is, what time the concert start?
7 o'clock.
7?
Keith
Woo!
Sweat,
You gonna be
Keith
going to
Sweat
like
and Junior
11, huh?
One. Huh?
Yeah, you gonna be going like to about 11, huh?
Yeah, it be done by my. It would be done at 10 o'clock though.
Okay, so you got plenty of time. You can rest
Yeah,
your
I
butt.
don't think they're gonna turn it up till about
About
11:30
12:30.
later.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm sounding like to me. Rod, where you watching the fight at?
Probably here at the house.
Oh, there?
Yeah, at the crib.
Oh, so you paying for it?
Nah, I got the stick.
Hey man, shh. Oh, goodness gracious, man. What? Just put it all out there, man. All right, Rod. Since you a guest in the show, I'm gonna start with you, man. Who are you going for in this week's fight? I already know what you're gonna say, but I'm gonna ask you anyway for the camera.
I think Spence gonna run into a shot. I got Spence come running right into a shot out of Bud's southpaw stance, and it's gonna hurt him. I don't think he's gonna finish Earl, but I think he's gonna hurt Earl, and he's gonna take over the fight. I think Bud by decision.
But by decision. See, that's what we was talking about in the first episode. What is Spence going to do if he gets in trouble? What do you think Spence is going to do if he get in trouble? Do you think he's going to be able to recover fast enough? Do you think he's prepared to recover from a shot from Bud?
I think the bell gonna save him. I think Bud gonna drop him, and the bell's gonna save him. And I think he gonna get his marbles back in the corner or whatever. Take a round off, defend for a round or whatever. But I think I got Spence running into a shot just because he applied so much pressure.
Uh
He
huh.
got that output. He a great fighter, man. Spence one of my favorite fighters, but he just different, man. Bud different.
Yeah, he is. He keeps finding a way to win. Eric, you hear what he said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What do you feel about that, man?
I feel good about that. He's telling the truth.
He's
That's what
telling
I'm
the
saying.
truth.
He's telling the truth. You know what I mean? He gonna run to a shot. He's coming forward, and he gonna pick him apart by coming to him. Period. He gonna get hurt. And he like I say he don't know how to recover. And he can keep taking the punishment. That's how I feel about the fight.
Fred, you hear what they talking about, man?
As I'm over here smoking on Bud,
Yeah,
um,
see
Keep
that.
smoking it
I
too.
hear I hear what they
That's the only way
saying.
Bud can go down because he keeps smoking it.
I hear what they saying,
Uh,
but that's easier said than done. Let me pose this question.
You just said
What
that
if
with
Bud
Spence
give
too.
him? I'm gonna pose you guys this question. What if coming forward, Bud catches him with his best shot, maybe two, and he don't drop him? You
He can
understand
get
what I'm
hurt.
saying? What happens? What happens when Bud realizes Errol can handle his power? Once Errol sees that, he can switch. He can do a cartwheel. It don't matter what he do. Errol Spence is gonna be on him from 1 to 12. Those down low rounds, that's gonna be his detriment. Has you ever seen who's ever seen Crawford come out on the gas pedal, ready to go? He always does that. I'm gonna down low. Well, if he down low, like Errol Spence said, he'll catch a virus. I'm
That's
telling you.
I think that's exactly how he gonna run into that shot.
And he's gonna, hey, he's gonna run into a shot. This is boxing at a high level. he's going to run into a shot. And when we see that he run into that shot and he keeps moving, that's when I say we'll see downhill. Them first 4 rounds, Errol's going to be up 3-1. If you want to down low, you're going to be down 3-1, 4-0.
The
Now, about
first
round
round, I
four,
feel like the first round gonna be competitive. Round 2 to 4, I give it to Earl. But after
Mm,
that, I think
I get,
that's
I
when
get. No, I this how I look at it. Rounds gonna be it gonna be throw it up 2, 3. It might be Earl. Fourth round will be Spence. No, I mean I'm sorry. I'll be Crawford, and then from there on it's gonna go back and forth maybe. But then again, that's how I look at it. I think by the 10th round, 11th round, it's gonna be all Crawford.
I don't think we're going to see a 10th, 11th round. I think that after round 4 or 5, now that you're experiencing full Errol. He's stepping in full stride. There's nothing you can do. The only thing Crawford
No.
do is meet him in the middle. If he don't meet him in the middle and stand there and throw down in the middle, once he start giving ground, he won't get it back.
let me ask you a question, Fred. Let me ask you a question. If I'm a counter puncher, right?
Right.
I love to counter punch.
Absolutely.
What do I want? I want somebody to come forward and throw a lot of punches at me so I can dissect you. That's what
Right.
Bud is going to do.
But you got to be able to breathe. You got to be able to breathe, and I think part of Spence's game plan in every fight is you don't get a chance to breathe. You
I don't
can't make
got
your
Bud
adjustment
backing
because
up.
he's on you.
I
What's
don't think
that?
Bud's gonna be backing up. I don't think he's
He,
gonna be backing up like that.
that's what I'm
So,
saying. The only
oh, I'm
thing
not getting
Bud
on here.
can
So
do
you
is
say
meet him in the middle.
you don't think he's going to be backing up. So you don't believe that Crawford in this fight versus Spence is not cause like Crawford. He's good. Like my Eric said, he adjusts. He does adjust. He switches. The question is, can he do it without having to plant himself?
Yeah,
You believe he can?
yeah.
Okay, all right. Because
Spence
when
I
I
run
don't
was
think
you
it's
all
going to
the
be
over.
pressure's
when
Spence is
on.
the
gonna try to
moment.
run you over. Spence is gonna try to run you over. But it's gonna be times where I think Crawford might take steps back, especially when he in the orthodox stance, because it looks like he's a little more uncomfortable in the orthodox, especially fighting in the pocket. He likes when he fighting in the pocket, he like to be southpaw. So I see him probably standing his ground more in southpaw and backing up more when he in the orthodox stance, looking for his counter punches. Because I'm thinking when he in orthodox, he down low. I believe he's really down low and he's more on the retreat, defensive, play with you. But when he in the southpaw, man, Bud turns to somebody different. Every time he get in that southpaw stance, it's a wrap.
I think the moment he switches, Spence jumps on him. You ain't gonna have time to download. I'm telling you, 70 plus punches per round. You have no time. Watch any Errol Spence fight. You can try to adjust. He's on you. It doesn't matter what you do. Now Crawford hasn't felt that kind of pressure, and I don't think he's felt that kind of power. Can Spence can punch, and
Yeah,
he's
I
a
know.
big
Yeah.
he's a big 147. And that jab. They say Spence every one of his punches at 80%. His jab hurts as round 1 through 4, 4 through 6 go. He's already breaking them down with his jab alone. Not to mention he's the most accurate body puncher at 147. Crawford got a lot on his plate, and he ain't gonna have time to download. If he do, it could be earlier than 10, because he'll get caught.
What if Crawford got a good jab too? His jab is just as good as Earl's.
Yeah, can he get it off though? That's the point. He's gonna smother that shit. That's that's yeah, that shit. He gonna smother that shit. It ain't it's gonna be no time. I'm telling you, it's no time, man down.
I'm a promise.
You know
I
what?
agree with you on this, Fred, because I love Spence, but I just love Bud's style better, and I feel like he has a lot more ways to adjust.
To
Spence is just
adjust.
one way. Like he
He
just
just one dimensional. Just come forward with
No,
power
he's
and that's
not.
it.
No, he's not.
Come on, man.
There's a lot of dimensions to boxing,
Up
whether it
and
be
down.
jab, body
That's
punching,
what he does.
movement,
That's what he does. He's up and
aggressive,
down, up down, up down. That's how he does.
and he's excellent at all of it. And that's what it takes. All that
That's
pretty
one
stuff and switching,
dimensional.
that's cool. That's
That's one
cool.
dimensional.
What Mike Tyson say? You got to play until you get hit in the mouth. Once Spence hit him in the mouth, it's gonna be on. So what
No.
style is gonna reign supreme? Pressure. Nothing but pressure. That's how you beat Crawford. Pressure him. Because if you hit him, he got to hit you back,
He hasn't
and that's
lost
gonna be
yet.
his mistake.
Nobody's beat him yet in 30 fights. Three
Yeah, he fought
weight
nobody in
He
classes.
no
30
good
fights. He
playing.
ain't fought nobody yet. This is his
He
first
no good
fight.
playing.
He
This
fought
is his
more
first fight.
champions than Spence. He has fought more champions than Spence.
I mean, but there's 113 belts in boxing. There's a lot of champions. There's a lot of ways to grab a belt and not be that good.
Come on, man. He got all the top four belts. Come on.
Yeah,
He'll be
but
100 belts, but then again, he got the top four belts. You can't say he got his all belts in the world. He got the top four belts, top four. So you can't
yeah,
say
but
that.
but but once again, I'm not one that gives somebody credit what they did at 35 and they fighting at 47. There's a
But you
whole
get
different
Pacquiao,
weight
but
class,
you
a
get
whole
Pacquiao
different thing.
credit though. You gave
What's
Pacquiao
that?
credit. You gave Mayweather credit.
Because
You gave
Manny
all them
Pacquiao is the
credit,
best
right?
fighter in the world that the world's ever seen.
But
That's
hold on,
why.
but hold on, you gave him credit, right? You can't
Yeah.
get so you can't get Crawford credit, but you get all them credit.
Yes, I can.
No,
Why come I can't? You
no.
already know. Hey, don't nobody talk about Manny Pacquiao in my presence. So I don't
You
care
know,
You
what you
just
Eric,
say.
don't,
I'm just saying.
Eric,
Craig. You
he's
just don't
doing it
think
too. He's
Crawford
gonna
is
break him
good,
up.
huh?
You already know he's gonna lay it down
Eric
on
will
him.
tell you what I think about Crawford, but Eric will tell you, be honest, Eric, haven't I not been a fan of Crawford's way before this Spence fight come up?
Yeah.
Never have I been a fan because I think he's beatable. I think Bob
Well,
Arum
yeah.
built
Well, yeah, yeah.
Terrance Crawford mystique. That's what
Yeah,
Bob
cause
Arum did for him, but
but
he held him
yeah,
back doing so.
you blame everything about Aaron, about Crawford, but still, to me,
Hmm
for what I saw,
Well, Crawford got
man,
to take responsibility too.
for what I
Crawford can
saw,
fight, man.
Crawford can fight,
Crawford
man.
can fight.
He can get down, and you
All
just
right,
Hey,
hating. That's all
I
you
think
doing.
it's gonna be a good fight. I think it's gonna be a good fight, and somebody gonna be wrong, and it's probably
it'll be
not
one of
gonna
us
be
four,
me.
right?
So,
Two of us four.
huh?
Again, you going
You
for
was wrong. You was wrong. Get the Davis fight.
Which Davis fight?
You thought Garcia was gonna win?
Hey, that was hopes and dreams. Hey, hold on. That's different.
that was at the house too.
That's hopes and dreams. That's different.
Those
I
hopes and
hoped and
dreams.
dreamed, but my
You
boxing
hope you
knowledge
agree.
knew he was gonna knock him out at some point. But you, a man can dream. Come on now.
You thought Garcia was gonna beat Tank?
I wanted him to. Hey, I wanted him to. I had to go against Eric anyway because that's how we do. If he picked one before me, I'm picking the other dude, and I'm gonna die on that shield. I don't care what.
No matter
Hey,
what.
so you
I
gonna
don't
die
care
on
who
Big
it
Fish?
is. I'm gonna
You want
swear up
Big
and
Fish?
down he the best
You
fighter in the
want
world
Big?
just to go against Eric.
You
All
want
right,
Big
man.
Fish dying
I'm
together
gonna have to
this
break them
weekend?
up. I'm gonna have to break them up until
We
next
got
time,
two
man.
sleeps.
Until next time, y'all. I appreciate y'all's participation, and we'll see y'all again after the fight this coming Sunday, because we're gonna be talking some mad stuff. Not only that, we're gonna have another guest on the show, and I just can't wait. So again, I want to thank y'all for watching. Break them up. This is Roosevelt Burke, Fred Owens, Eric Burke, and Rod Jones signing off. Peace.